Hello, everyone.
Hello, I'm Kapil,
I'm Janie.
and this is the Strategy Meeples YouTube channel.
Yep.
And today we are bringing you a three-player game of Castles of Burgundy.
Yeah. We haven't played a ton of three-player online lately, but we do play, when we play on person, it tends to be 3 or 4 player.
Yeah, and this is a game that we just recently completed on Board Games Arena. It is with our friend Matt. So Matt also plays a lot of board games. He's really into Magic. We have never played Magic, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to see. I guess learn Magic from him one day.
That's
I
a big
I don't want to get
commitment.
into Magic, but
If Kapil gets into magic, he will get into magic.
no,
So.
I'm not getting into Magic.
But if he does, he'll be into it.
Okay. But yeah, for now we will just stick to regular board games. So yeah, this is a three-player game. This is the 2019 edition, and we are playing like random maps for all players. Yeah, that's about it for setup. So if we look at the turn order, so Matt is player 1, I'm player 2, and Janie is player 3.
And that never really changes. For me, anyways.
Yeah, well, so yeah, let's dive right into it. Let's see what maps, I guess, what boards each of us get. So I'm starting on board number 7, and that is where I choose to put my starting castle. Okay, so Matt gets board number 4, and he starts at the top right over here, and Janie also gets board number 7, so that's interesting. And she also decides to start at this bottom left position. So one thing to note before we get into this game is that the strategy varies from 2-player to 3-player and from like 3-player to 4-player.
Mm-hmm.
So just because in a 3-player game you have like 2 extra tiles available in the black market, plus each depot you get an extra tile. Like each depot has an extra tile. So basically in a 3-player game you are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 extra tiles to choose from each round.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a lot of options. So yeah, I guess the strategy high level I would say is keep your options open. You still want to try and go for water and compete on the turn order track, but also if your opponents are blocking you a lot, you can just pick up buildings, and buildings are a really strong strategy in a 3-player game.
Another thing that people do, especially in 4-player, is they'll play towards a specific yellow tile, and they'll try to go like stay ahead until maybe their whatever yellow tile they're kind of playing for comes up, and then they don't care as much about water. So,
Right. So yeah, let's see how this game plays out.
because in 4-player, every single tile will come out, so you can just hang out until you're.
That is true, yeah.
So, like, if you get a bunch of warehouses early on, you can, like, try to stay ahead until the yellow tile for warehouses shows up.
That is right, yep.
3-player, you get some of both. You get more options, and you won't see every tile from the game.
Yeah, many times I think in 3 and 4-player games, like even the discarded tiles come back just because the tiles are like limited in count. So the game is designed in such a way that those tiles, like if you don't pick up a few buildings, they will come up. Whereas in a 2-player game, anything that's discarded is discarded. So nothing from the discard is going to come up again. So just looking at the board real quick for all 3 of us. So let's start with Matt. So the best options that he has right now, he picked up a mine, which is good, because he has this region of 2. So he ideally wants to put 1 mine and complete this water early. He does need a yellow tile so that he can get access to this region of buildings, and maybe some water here. Try to go this way. For Janie and me, since we have the same board and we started at the same position, we kind of want a castle for this spot. A mine would be good. Completing either this region or this region would be good. And we do want to start working on this region of 7 buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, since this is a 3-player game, there's going to be like a lot of moves. So we'll just try to go through the game and then talk in between. Okay, so Matt picks up. Matt goes for a mine and water. I mean, mine and ship.
Just like you said.
And I go for double water here. So I take away all the water from Janie, which is, well, that will guarantee that I complete this region over here and go as player 1 into the new round. So I really valued that. And this is the downside of being the last player in a 3 or 4 player game, that if you're last, like, you might not get any water.
Yeah, I didn't get any water, and then also I was feeling like I wasn't that, I had to get a yellow and a green, and if for some reason they had taken more yellow, I don't think I could have been completely blocked in looking at it, but I felt pretty blocked in. Like, I had no choice. Had to pick up a yellow tile, and I had to pick up a green tile. But it's a pretty good yellow tile.
Oh yeah, in the first round. So this is yellow tile number 11, and it's saying that if it's in your estate or duchy, whenever you want to place a castle, mine, or yellow tile, you may change the die result by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, very strong tile early on. So let's move on through the game. Okay, so Matt kind of starts placing water. In this case, I will say that one mistake he made was I guess he started on the bigger region, but he could have as well just placed it on this spot with the 1, and he would have gotten like extra points for the round. So he would have gotten like 10 plus 1, so like 11 points he could have gotten.
But he does have really great connectivity. So if he'd gone to the 1, he only would have gotten the 2 would have been the only like new number he had.
That is very true.
But now he branched out to the left, so he can roll a 6.
6, 3, or 6. Yep.
And those are all the new.
And 5.
Yeah.
There's no water though. Yeah.
There's no water, and the castle was already connected to that.
Right. Oh, that's true. Okay. But yeah, that's a good point. I can see that now, why you would want this connection early on.
That's one thing that I want to start paying attention to when I'm placing my dice, is just like, I noticed that Pistol Star does this when he talked about his gameplay, was he like was always keeping in mind like, oh, now if any number that I roll, I'll have something to do.
Oh yeah, because
and I do not. That's something I want to start watching a little more.
Yeah, and as you play more, you'll realize this, or I guess we'll mention it right now too. But all the boards in Castles of Burgundy have the same numbers at the same position. So basically, in this, even though these are different boards, you can see that the 6 is at the same spot, then the 1, 2 is at the same spot as 2. So after you play for a bit, you'll start to see these patterns and numbers, and then that's when you get into like the advanced strategy and see how much risk you are willing to take.
Yeah.
And that will also determine how many workers you want to go into a new round with, or whether you want to sell goods,
or whether
stuff
you
like
want
that.
to like go for a building, like go into the next round with a certain building, because you'll be able to place a building because you have like
the right numbers.
Yeah, next. Yep. Adjacent.
Okay, so let's go through the game. So I guess I took workers and took the castle here. Is that what I'm thinking? Yeah, I guess I did that. I could have maybe sold a good and taken the castle, but I just decided to take it from the board. Okay, so Janie has a strong move. She completes her castle region, places the yellow tile, and picks up the other yellow tile. So this is yellow tile number 10, which is saying that when it's in your estate or duchy, whenever you want to place a ship or animal tile, you may change the die result by 1. So that's really strong, like getting both tile number 10 and tile number 11 in the first round literally means that she has a lot of freedom to finish, like put tiles on these regions on the board, like these regions. And then I guess even the yellows, because she has tile number and the mines and the castle. Literally everything other than the building.
Just wait. Maybe I'll get the building too.
Who knows?
Maybe I'll get yellow tile number 12 too. Maybe.
Oh man,
maybe.
no spoilers.
That'd be crazy. Hopefully you would do it at the right time. It made sense.
You wouldn't be doing the meme bit now, would you?
We'll see.
So Matt has a 5 and a 6, okay. Okay, so he sells goods and he gets a building, and then he gets another building.
Yeah. So let's see. Selling goods.
And yeah, so let's move on. So I rolled a 4 and a 2. So I could place the castle, put a water down, or I could place the castle and get a tile if I needed. Let's see what we do. Okay, I'm bringing over my my undo strategy from my 2-player games to the 3-player games.
It's a way of life.
It's a good way of putting it.
I think a lot of people undo. I said I didn't undo, and I actually do sometimes undo a lot. I can be a little impulsive, but yeah, going back through some replays, I know I undo a lot too.
Okay, so I buy a bank here, and my reasoning was that since Matt has a mine, and that's the only mine that showed up, kind of, I still want like 2 silver going into the new round, so I just picked up a bank. Okay, so Janie has a really good start. She has completed 2 region of 2s. So if you look at the score, she's currently at 26 points. I'm at 13 and Matt is at 6.
Wondering if that's the best building for me.
So I end up getting the town hall from the black market, and my reasoning here is that this region of 2 is now accessible to me. So town hall will essentially, if I roll a 6, it will essentially allow me to complete this region and place the bank. That will give us 2 silver going into the new round. And then we have flexibility for the water, either with the 6 or the 3. Okay, so Matt places his church on the board, picks up tile number 2, which is really good because it combos with this mine. So it's going to give him more workers every round. Okay, and Janie places her market and picks up the first animals of the game.
Yeah, my thinking was that even though it was early in the game for animals, I just wasn't sure if I was going to be able to bump up in turn order. So I figured even if I go into the next round with some things in my duchy, probably I'm not going to have the best, like, pick out the best of tiles. So just go ahead and pick up 2 matching animal tiles in round A. That was my thinking.
That's really good thinking. I agree with that because, yeah, like you do not want to fight with both of us if you're for turn order, if there's like literally no water on the board.
Yeah.
And we are probably going to be picking up more water in the new round. So why not just take the tiles that work for you?
Yeah, in hindsight, I wish I'd gone for more of the smaller building regions. I start focusing, I think, on the middle too soon. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out.
Okay, so, I rolled a 6. How convenient. Now I can complete that region of 2.
Complete 2 regions of 2 in one move.
Oh, yeah, I guess
Nice.
that is true.
Nice.
Okay, Matt with a 4 and a 2. So he's working towards his 2 region of buildings too. Now one thing I will say here for his board is that he's going into the new round with 0 workers and 0 silver. So that is, and he's second player. So I think that's a bit of a risk on his part. I think you want to go into a new round with like at least one worker and 2 silver. So that is something that I would probably do differently.
What do I do?
That makes sense for Janie. Like she said that she just wants the tile that work on her board, and picking up the 2 second pig is pretty good for her.
I call it the Scramble Man strategy. What do you call
Scramble
it? Not the
Man
Scramble Man
strategy.
You just take it as it comes when you're like last. You just got to take what's good for you when it's good for you. I don't know. It didn't work out. It didn't win.
What is the name of this strategy? But,
but I just kind of went for it while it was available.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So since this is the 2019 edition of the game, we do need to mention that there's the infamous tile number 6. This is like one of the strongest tiles in the game in a 2-player game. I am assuming that's probably true in 3 and 4-player games too, because essentially what it's doing is you can spend 2 workers to, instead of 2 silver, to buy a tile from anywhere on the board. It can even be from the black market. So it basically gives you like a really strong die, because you can spend this die to get 2 workers and literally use that 2 workers to buy any tile from anywhere on the board.
It's a free dice every time.
It's like a free die. And plus if you
or
have
a wild die every time.
Yeah, and if you have like workers stocked up or something, then you can spend even more workers. And you can always spend silver too. So really strong tile. So I'm definitely going to go for that since I'm player 1. And I'll probably want to go for some more water too. And I guess the mines as well, but we'll see if we end up with any. Yeah, I was thinking triple yellow. I don't think I like that a lot.
You don't even have a triple region of yellow. Would have been odd.
True.
But I would have.
Okay, so I actually don't pick up any water. I'm a little surprised here. I guess I got a little greedy and decided
No, you got some of the best tiles in the game.
Yeah, but it's also like if you both pick up all the remaining water on the board now, then I'm kind of scrambling in turn order. So I guess it's a risk.
But you're set. You're set.
I'm set. Okay, so let's see what Matt does. Picks up another mine and places it. Okay, that's really strong. So one other move that I see for him is he could have like picked up a mine, and he could have also picked up this water on the board, because he does need water. So why not just get it while you can? Or he could have taken the town center maybe. But placing it is fine, I guess. You're keeping your options open on the board. I mean, keeping your spaces open. So for Janie, she doesn't get any pigs, but she gets a lot of sheep and some goats and cows if she wants. And probably some water too if she wants to pick some up. Okay, so she goes for a church and some water.
Why did I go for a church, I wonder? Did I buy it?
I think so. No, you take it from with your die number 5. I think your reasoning might be that you want some more yellow tiles maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I complete the mine region and then I pick up a water. So Matt is making good progress towards his region of 5 building in the north. And he's also picking up some yellow tiles that are going to give him bonus points now. So always something you want to remember is if you're like rushing for buildings, you want to pair your buildings with yellow tiles usually. Especially yellow tiles that give points for buildings. And if you're going for like animals, in that case you want to pair it with like some utility tiles that help you place the animals easier or
get you points for animals.
Yeah.
One thing to point out about animals and yellow tiles is that you need to kind of keep up with your silver, because the best animal pairs for yellow tiles show up in the black market. So there's 2 yellow tiles where you get points for animals, and they're both in the black market. I did not realize that until recently.
Yep, that is
if you're
true.
playing a lot online, you kind of forget, if you're not paying attention, that some yellow tiles only go in the black market. And you know that when you're setting it up in person, because you remember that they look different. But when you start playing online, I had forgotten that that's how it worked.
Right. Yep. Definitely keep an eye on what tiles have shown up, what tiles have been discarded.
Oh, and there I go. Look at that.
So Janie picks up yellow tile number 9, and what this is doing is whenever you want to place a building, it lets you change the die result by 1. So at this point, she has like the triple trifecta effect going, where like literally any tile she wants to place on the board, she can manipulate her die by 1 in either direction.
And I think I should have played to this a little more, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's funny though. You ended up with all 3 of like.
And in round B.
Yeah, in round B. That's crazy. Okay, so I think we put down tile number 6 again, like really strong tile. So I want it on the board as soon as possible.
Yeah, you can't leave yellow tile number 6 sitting around. You got to put it to work. Because it really does a lot.
Absolutely. So I'm thinking in this case, I'm just looking at Janie's board and I'm wondering if she's... Oh, actually, she cannot take this water easily, right? But I wonder if she will take that water. I think it'll be a strong move if she does. But actually, I might pick it up too, so... Let's see what Janie does. So she did that. Although in this case, I'm thinking if you would have sold workers, took workers and taken that 1 water, you would have been player 2 into the next round.
I wonder, my die were
4 and a 5. So you would have had to take workers with the 4 and the water with the 5.
Or I could have picked up the
market.
And placed it with either a 1,
that's
2, or
true.
6. I don't.
Well, you had a 1 here, you have a 6 here, you have a 6 here. Oh, you have this building tile, so you could have used it here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a strong move.
Actually, I'm going to say a lot of times, well, we're playing turn-based, and I right now have like 2 mini games to handle with castles, and sometimes I forget about the utility tiles that I have, and I don't, obviously I can't avoid using them. I notice it when I try to place it, but when I'm trying to decide what to do, I don't think I was considering how good that combo was. I think I was forgetting sometimes.
That's a really good point, because many times you will it'll be later in the game and you might just look at the board and not look at the tiles you have already put on your board. So it's really important to always look at what utility tiles you have, what scoring bonus tiles you have, and then make your decisions.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to keep track of that in a live game. Like, you're not going to forget that everything on your board is plus or minus 1.
Right.
But when I'm playing a turn-based game, I do kind of forget.
Yeah, it happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what Matt does. I think he should be taking the water here. Or not, okay.
Surely I take the water here if you don't take it.
Maybe... Okay, so the reason I took an animal and not the water is...
Oh, you're going to undo that.
Am I going to undo that? I guess Janie knows me too well.
I don't know.
Yeah, so this water is on the board for you. Question is... Oh, the problem is though that you cannot place it.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually you can place it because you have tile number 10. So you could have placed it with the 1. But let's see. Yeah, I'm curious if you actually do use that water.
I think I take it but don't place it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm at this point in the game. So let me just go over it from my perspective. So Matt has placed 2 mines. He has just 1 castle right now. But he only needs 1 mine to get the completion bonus, which is like 6 points. And I have only 1 mine. And there's no other mine on the board. So I don't want him to just get the bonus for it right away. I want to challenge him on it. So I'm going to start picking up the tile he wants at this point. I'm not looking at Janie's board too much because she's not going for mines or castle or rushing them. She's following like the animal strategy. So my direct or the person who is going to be blocking me the most is Matt. So I'm looking at his board more. So that's why I picked up the mine in this case.
I'm not sure if I pick it up, but yellow tile number 5 is out on depot number 5. And that tile is so much worse in multiplayer games because the number of goods doesn't change. If you have a 2-player game or a 4-player game, 1 good goes out per round. And so they don't tend to cluster up as much. So yellow tile number 5, I learned by playing it recently, it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, that's true. And look at that, Janie picked up the 2 pigs for her animal region right here.
Oh,
so
boy.
That is really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm finally starting to put some buildings on my board. So Matt is getting really close to completing all his buildings at this point.
Beautiful.
Something
Nice.
we need to keep track of. Okay. So what do we want to do now? So Janie is like second in turn order.
I remember being really conflicted this turn.
So this is a really important move for me, like putting that 5 down, because I see that Janie is now she also got a castle and she has an animal to connect it to the castle. I guess these pigs are gonna go here, but she could buy this somehow and put it.
Well, I was conflicted. I wonder even now if it would have been a better move to place the pigs with the 6 because it just gives you
connection to the castle.
Yeah, well, I guess that works too, but
right. But in doing so, she kind of gives up the water lead. So it's always like a trade-off. So I just take double workers because I didn't roll the best die. And I'm fine taking this castle into the new round. So that's my reasoning with that. And there's still like 2 moves for me left in this round. Okay. So Matt becomes player 1. So I do not want to let him go into the new round as player 1, so I'm going to try and put some water on the board. Again, all of this is possible. Like, I'm able to buy that tile with workers because of this tile number 6. So it's giving me huge utility. So yeah, the thing with this water is that even if Janie places it, she'll still be player number 3. But she has a lot of animals going, so she is going to score a lot from them.
It's not enough, but I did score them.
Yeah. So it's the beginning of the 4th phase, so that's phase D. And if we look at the scores, so I'm at 87, Janie is at 81, and Matt is at 77. So pretty close game, I would say, so far.
Mm-hmm. You have, I think, the best. Tile 25 is pretty good for...
Oh, just this castle is the best right now because...
Oh, I was
both of
looking at
us
yellow
need a
tile
castle.
bonus points, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also looking at tile number 1 because that will mean that I can easily complete this region of 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I might grab that. Thinking about getting a mine for the same reason. I want to complete this region before Matt does, but I might not end up doing that. Okay, so I'm picked up a building to start working towards that big building region of 7. Okay, Matt picks up the mine that he needs. This yellow tile is really good for him because it gives bonuses for banks, and he already has 2 banks. And there's 2 banks available, so he can probably put one of those over here. And then, what is your plan? And what are you thinking, Janie?
Well, I think I'm just trying to get my big region in the middle done. So I'm focusing on that. I am wondering if I should have focused more, I think I mentioned it earlier, on those regions to the side. So.
Yeah, these regions.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also working on your animals, and there's also these 2 sheep that you need on the board.
Yeah. So I think I picked up the bank, and I'm hoping to pick up the sheep from the middle.
Yep, that makes sense. So I think in this case, I'm deciding to just... I'm debating whether I want to complete the mines before Matt does. I think I do. And the reason I want to do that is because the first person to complete a tile gets 6 points in a 3 and 4 player game. And the second person only gets 3 points. So that's kind of a point boost that I wanted to get over Matt. Okay, so he picks up... So he has like 2 pigs now, which is really good.
Mm-hmm. And there I go with my sheep.
Oh wait, did you like discard a water? Okay.
I think I decided to give up on water here.
Makes sense.
Kind of. I mean, it's always good to take goods and be able to sell stuff too. And could have just completed that region of 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we are all starting to complete big regions at this point. I guess I'm not close, but I have tile number 1, so that'll allow me to complete it soon.
Yeah, and you have a big lead on from the small regions here.
Right. And the reason I'm also prioritizing getting the markets is because I have this tile, number 20, so that gives 4 points per market I have on the board.
Yeah, I should not have let you get that.
It's okay.
Nice.
Now my plan at this point is I already completed the castles. I completed the mines. I want to complete the yellow tiles as well. I only need one more. I have 2, so I can finish this one and this one. So that's like 3 regions that I'll complete before Matt and Janie. And then maybe water. I know buildings I'm not going to be able to finish before.
Especially Matt. He's really
yeah.
ahead.
So I definitely want to get the yellow done before him or Janie. And the water maybe. At this point, I'm not like too pressed to complete the water. I just want enough water to be first player into the last round. But I'm totally fine leaving one of these spaces open if I have to focus on getting a yellow tile or something. Actually, yeah, at this point in the game, I probably do want to finish my water before them, but...
It's not the only thing you're focused on.
Right. So if you look at the stack of goods, so Matt has a lot of stacks set up to sell. I haven't sold a lot this game. I guess just the way it turned out.
Yeah, and I have a warehouse, but I have nothing to sell. That's not a fun place to be.
That is true. Yeah, I didn't notice that. But look at that. Janie jumps to 153 points. Matt is at 100 and I'm at 111.
And I should have ended the game here.
Yeah, she would have won if this was the game.
If this was a different game entirely, I would have won.
Okay, so I do want to put that water because I want to be player 1 in the new round. In this case, I'm actually just deciding to go into the new round with 0 workers and 0 silver because my mines are going to give me 3 silver and I can buy any tile on the board with tile number 6. So that's my reasoning in taking a risk without not taking any workers going into the new round. Okay, final round of the
I
game.
discarded that water. I don't think I should have just risked it. I mean, not having those 2 sheep. I picked up 2 sheep with 2 sheep on them. I really don't think that was worth discarding a water because I didn't have very many goods on the board, and taking goods from you guys also gets me points, and I could have played that warehouse. So I don't think that was the move. But live and learn.
Live and learn. So a lot of good options on the board. At this point, I am tempted, since I'm player 1, I'm tempted to go for tile number 15 or tile number 23. This one gives you bonus for every townhouse you have on the board, town hall. And this one gives you 2 points per type of goods you have sold.
So I am a little excited because I just think it would be really fun to get tile number 12 because then every single die I have is plus or minus 1, and I get a little captivated by this idea. I just think it's amazing. I think that's so fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. Getting
even though I don't get to use it, I go for this idea.
And you should get this tile too then, tile number 8.
I did. Yeah, in the end. I think I got it pretty soon.
So this tile says you can change, every worker can count as plus or minus.
Yeah, and that's just
subtract 2 instead of 1. So that's the meme build right there.
Yeah.
If you're going for utility, then it doesn't get stronger than this.
What is the soonest you could get that done? In a 4-player game, pretty quick.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Because a lot of yellow tiles come out.
But yeah. But I would say, I'm just going to say tile number 6 is probably equivalent to getting all those tiles.
It is. It really is, because it's like a free roll every time for picking stuff off the board.
Stuff off.
And then for placing stuff, you tend to have a little more flexibility anyway, because you usually have more than one option. So like if I'm trying to place a building, let's say I'm trying to place a townhouse. Right now, I can place a townhouse with a 2, a 6, or a 1. And so it's a lot better to have utility picking stuff up off the board than it is placing stuff on your own board, because you always have more options there.
Right, and one other thing I want to mention is that the reason this tile is so strong for me is because I have the lead with my water. So it won't be as strong if you're like the second player or the third player, because all the good tiles will be taken away by your opponents. So it's more about having flexibility, but you also want to be in a position where there's good tiles available to make use of it.
Yeah.
Same is true in like 2-player games. Like if you do have this tile, you still want to compete for water. Okay, so let's see how this round plays out. Okay, so in this case, I could have picked up bought a water and placed it, but I decided to give up on doing that just because I kind of want to still finish my buildings. And this carpenter's workshop allows me to do that easily. Plus, it gives Matt 4 points. So I'm kind of blocking him from getting those 4 points. I just wanted to get that. Like I said in the previous round, like I'm okay to just not put a water down here. I'm more focused on completing my yellows and buildings at this point. Okay, so by not picking up this tile, I'm also giving a lot of points to Matt, because he has sold a lot of goods and he has 3 big stacks here. I mean, 3 stacks here, so he can get a lot of points from this tile.
Yeah, I did think you were going to take that.
Yeah, I valued this tile number 23 more.
How many points will that get you?
Well, right now 1 to 3, so 12 points. Plus there's one more if I want it.
Yeah,
Nobody
and it
blocks
could have
me on
gotten Matt.
It could have gotten him like 1 or 2 points. I mean, 8 points.
8
maybe.
points.
Okay, so Janie finishes her castle, gets a water. So now you're going for water, which is fine.
I did that so that I could get goods, so that I could sell goods, so that I could pick up tile number 12. I give up everything for tile number 12.
That is strategic.
Okay, so if I had been playing a little better, I think I would have focused on picking up more buildings and completing probably that region of 3 at least.
Yeah.
I think that would have been better.
It also, I would say, doesn't help you a lot that we both ended up with the same board. Like, we weren't directly competing with each other, but it just changes the game a little. Okay. So let's see. So final few turns of the game for all of us.
I hope so.
Yeah.
See, I have such a nice lead here, and I wonder how I could have, couldn't have been first to complete the buildings. I do think I should have tried, though. At least gotten in Matt's way.
Okay, so we're just going to go through the game at this point. So Janie just needs the tile number 12 to complete her meme build.
I won in my own way.
Yeah, that's impressive. So I do get to pick up the other town hall.
And I was on the edge of my seat here because I need to sell goods so that I can pick up tile number 12. I'm just doing so much dumb stuff so that I can sell goods. And if Kapil had placed a water, I wouldn't have been able to get 2 goods, and I wouldn't have been able to to pick up anything from the middle, and that probably would have been for the best.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta play.
Follow your heart.
Yeah, just not make your own strategy, you know. End of the day, you like this is like a friendly game, even if it's like a ranked game. It's as long as you're having fun.
And actually, it wasn't a ranked game.
Yeah, this was a friendly game. So I'm just trying to decide the best way to make sure that I complete all my buildings and also put the yellow tiles down efficiently. So I'm doing a few undos, I guess. And Janie with her meme build going strong. Would you have been like sad if Matt picked up tile number 12 now?
Oh, at this point in the chat, I told everyone not to pick up yellow tile.
Yeah, I remember that. Janie's like, yeah, I want tile number 12.
And Matt says, but you won't get to use it. Like, it's the end of the game. I don't think that's good. And I was like, yeah, but I want tile number 12. I thought when you saw replays, you saw the chat.
Yeah, I don't know.
I always thought that was a weird feature, so maybe it didn't actually exist. Yeah, you did get a lot of points from... I'm still just wondering if you should have picked up yellow tile number 15, or if... I mean, you didn't get that much from yellow tile 19.
It would have been, I guess 4 or 5, so like 10 points for me max.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it was more about like placing tiles on the board faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe it was a mistake letting this border sit empty. Just that 6 bonus points plus the 3 for the region. I mean 2 for the region, so 9, 10, 11 plus the goods.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe I would have done it differently, but it's fine. There you go, tile number 12.
And I almost couldn't even place it.
So it's the last turn of the game for everyone. So right now I am at 176. Janie Spoonbill Billionaire is at 183. And Mountain Mage Matt is at 170 points. So it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we don't count any bonuses, it's pretty close game.
Who needs bonuses?
So Matt actually
does.
ends up getting the pigs, which is really good for him.
Mm-hmm.
It not only gives him this added points, plus completes that region.
Yeah, if we were going to do a block, that probably would have been a good one.
So I end up finishing my yellows. So that gives me a lot of points. That is it. That is the game. So I end up winning the game. I get 228 points. Janie gets 185 and Matt gets 222. So it was kind of like a 6-point game between us, and then Janie wins the meme build.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't think I was on my way to victory before going for the meme build. I think I was. There wasn't a lot I could do going to the round to get like a ton of points, but I should have been, getting in y'all's way a lot more if I wanted to not.
And like you said, like completing these side regions early on maybe would have been more beneficial. Like I know you wanted to complete this, but just so many buildings show up in a 3 and 4 player game that it's not as tight. Like it's not that hard for you to complete it.
And the thing is, I had 10 and 11 from the beginning, so I should have been able to like fill up my board pretty fast. So I should have been focusing on filling up the small regions and try to get like the whole side of my board done.
Right. From Matt's perspective, I would say he kind of delayed finishing a few of these building regions. So maybe if he would have like prioritized it a little more, even if he wasn't placing the best buildings, but just complete those regions,
But we'd have to go back and see, like, maybe the reason for that was that those
The
buildings weren't
available.
showing up.
Yeah, that's true. Also, this yellow finishing this would have been nice. For me, yeah, maybe the only thing I would say is placing this water would have helped score a little higher.
I still think you should have picked up 12 and not gone for 19. Like, going for the one that gives you buildings for townhouses makes sense.
Oh, the reason I did that was I decided to pick up the carpenter's workshop over the 12, over this tile.
Yeah. I mean, you did complete your buildings, so.
Yeah, so.
I know, I'm a little focused on yellow tile number 15. But
So
I just think it usually gets you a lot of points.
So just to go over a little more strategy and why we scored a little higher here is because if we look at the end of the game, just to do a little math here. So if we look at the points with animals and the points with yellow tiles, right? So Couple, Janie, and Matt. So for animals, I scored 3 points. Janie scored 36 points.
What? Animals? Oh, okay, yeah.
And Matt scores 20 points. And if we look at the yellow tiles, points from the yellow tiles, so I scored 36 points here. Janie scores 0. And Matt scores 28 points. So just adding this up, I have scored like 39 points. Janie has scored 36 points. And Matt has scored 48 points.
Yeah. And so Matt had both.
Yeah, he ended up completing that region of pigs towards the end, so that boosted his points for animals.
I do think in multiplayer games you can get more points with animals.
Yeah, especially on regions with big animals like board number 8. The only thing I would say is maybe having a few more yellow tiles for buildings might have helped.
Yeah, and also your points with regions was really high, where I just think with that many utility tiles I should have gotten more points with regions. So that would be my takeaway there.
My points with regions is also high because I focused on completing the smaller regions more heavily early on and leaving the bigger regions for the end.
Yeah.
So I think that made a difference.
Yeah, I think we need a rematch, which we will probably do. So we'll be back.
Yes, and we will see how that game goes.
And I will go for another meme build. Maybe.
Or not.
I hope not. I hope I win.
But if Janie has inspired you to do that, then go for it.
Yeah. I think I had an even better, kind of successful meme build when I completed, I got, 8 banks in one board. Remember that?
We have had some really wonky games in the past. But yeah, that was a breakdown of this 3-player game. Yeah, it changes the strategy from a 2-player game, and I'm sure at 4 players it changes it even more. Especially if you're all playing on the same map. Like, imagine 4 people playing on the same map.
Sounds obnoxious.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But that is it for this video and this game, and we will see you in the next video.
Yeah, bye guys. Thanks for joining.
Bye.